Hi Gemini, this is your forecast for the month of February 2017. This is a general reading for Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, or Gemini Moon. If you have a different rising or moon sign, you might find watching those videos helpful or more informative for you. Please remember that these are general readings, and so they may not apply to everyone. If you would like a personal reading that is specific to you, please visit my website at thealchemistastrologer.com, provided on the link at the upper corner. If you have visited my site before, you'll need to clear your browser's cache for the schedule button to function properly. Now, the last week you have the Hierophant, and this is all about doing what is expected, following the rules, listening to conventional wisdom. This card ties into the group dynamic in that this is all about doing what is expected according to the consensus, whether that is society, a culture, a group, an organization. This is a concern for following the established codes of behavior that we all agree are appropriate, or, a consensus on what we agree is a taboo behavior. So this could be a week where following the rules is very important. Some of you are going to be involved in something that's institutional, like an official ceremony, maybe a marriage, baptism, christening, some kind of legalizing or official ceremony. Could even be a birthday. But for others of you, this is dealing with those who have some kind of authority, some kind of higher power is at work here. Could be a spiritual authority, could be a legal authority, maybe an educational authority. You could be involved in some type of system or some type of structured environment that links to tradition. So again, maybe you're dealing with a judge or a lawyer, a teacher, a mentor, a professional, a doctor, an arbitrator, an attorney, a consultant, any number of people that would possess a particular body of knowledge that they're willing to pass on. Now, in the negative, this is about breaking with tradition, not doing what is expected, taking an unorthodox approach. And again, could be following some bad advice. There is a rigidity to this card that connects to dogmatism, fanaticism, extremism, vengefulness, propaganda, if you will, or a lack of originality. But whatever it is, there's a rigidity or an excessive non-conformity. So those will be issues this week. Now, fortunately for some of you, this is going to be a week where it's going to be immensely constructive for you. You may have a laundry list of things to do, goals you want to meet, objectives to pursue, and you find yourself ticking those off in warp speed. And by the end of it, you have astonished yourself at how much you have accomplished in so short of a time. But for others of you, there are some decisions that you've made that are really going to cause some serious consequences for you at a later date. So this is a week where your career, your family life, or your love life is going to kick up into high gear. It's going to be more challenging, more demanding, more difficult in some ways. So this is going to be a week for you to be especially careful about your connections. Choose your lovers wisely, your partners wisely, your associates, who you get involved with, the contracts and agreements that you agree to, the promises you make, whether you're going to deliver or not, because this card warns of some drama on the horizon. So this is going to be a week of drama any way you slice it. There's going to be some type of rumor, gossip, backbiting, unkind accusation that may or may not involve you. You may only be privy to what people are saying, or they may be saying it about you and behind your back. And if this is a nasty situation, it may be difficult for you to quickly remove yourself from it. Now again, on the positive, if you're working to accomplish something and you're very focused, it's going to be easier for you to keep your eye on target, keep your eye on the prize. And you're going to be more willing to look at things from the other vantage point, to step into the other person's shoes, to compromise, to make concessions. And this is going to intensify and strengthen some of your relationships. For others of you, this awareness is going to make you realize that you want to scale back on some of your relationships. If you had a personal expectation that wasn't met, that someone didn't live up to, or a situation didn't pan out the way you had hoped, you may feel very discouraged this week. You may feel as if you've been taken advantage of. But if you were to review the chain of events over the past few weeks, you will realize that you were somehow a participant in the outcome of the situation. On some level, you failed to follow through on your commitments, and they could have been small, but again, a chain of things that led you to this moment in time. Perhaps you didn't call someone back when you said you would, or you failed to make an appointment, or you didn't meet deadline, you didn't have the papers on the desk at 5 o'clock the way you said. Whatever it was, you failed to deliver. And now it's reflecting on you poorly in some way. For some of you, this is about finance, and you're having continuous issues regarding money. But you are being warned this week to be careful, to not leave yourself vulnerable to difficult situations by being reckless, by participating in dangerous behavior, by failing to live up to promises. This is a week for you to be discerning, to check, to double check and check again, and work with facts before you make your decisions. And this is also a week that again calls into play ethics and following conventional wisdom and relying on your integrity to guide you. So that strong desire that you felt last week, you may be very focused and intent because of your attraction to someone or something, or maybe you are willing to destroy someone. You feel irritated, and because of that desire, you convince yourself that whatever you do, regardless of the consequence, that it's okay if it helps you to meet your goal. Now, for some of you, this is going to be about some type of expansion. You want to grow in some way, whether that is financially, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. For some of you, this is about travel. That very first card could be a travel card. For some of you, this is about pushing the boundaries, maybe going against the grain, the status quo. And for some of you, this is urging you to break out of the box, to think differently, to try something new.